Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is It Does Get Better. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then, although it does seem like my suggestions are still totally appropriate for what's going on now. If I encounter anything that is out of date, I will stop myself and give you the most recent information. At the end, I'll summarize the topic with what's going on in the world today. Also, I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. It does get better being different. And I'll just preface this as that I don't read these before reading them aloud on camera. So trigger warning, this starts off with a really sad story, suicide. I watched a video by Oral Roberts' adult grandson who is gay, and he wrote a letter to his uncle Ronnie, who is also gay and had committed suicide in 2003. Their evangelical Christian family overly condemns homosexuality and is convinced they'll go to hell. I think it stayed with me because there's a thread of hellfire and brimstone Christianity in my family, and although not gay, I am quite different from the rest of them. However, I thought being different was a good thing. I couldn't help but be different. I'm the only girl. I have three brothers. I was born overseas in Berlin. They were all born in Washington, D.C., in the same hospital and delivered by the same doctors. I'm the only one in the family with hazel brown eyes. They all have blue. And from the time I was 5, we lived in different countries, moving every 2 to 5 years. So I got used to being the foreigner. The advantage of being different is you're not swayed by your peer group, since you don't feel you have one. When you're not trying to be like anyone else, you get to be uniquely yourself. I think the video also triggered me because for many years I was suicidally depressed. When I was 16 and heartbroken from the end of my first relationship, I took a massive overdose and was in a coma for 3 days. My father berated me in front of my psychiatrist that they had no hope for me. I was never going to finish high school and never go to college, and I was going to end up in a brothel. This resulted in the psychiatrist recommending that I not live at home. So I finished 11th grade living at the Y. And as it turned out, I didn't finish high school because my family was stationed to Sweden and I went to college early in the United States. And then I didn't finish college because I went to London to go to drama school instead. Fast forward to my late 30s as a single parent on food stamps. I struggled with being suicidal and made choices that wouldn't tip me over the edge. I didn't work full time and I didn't commute to the city, which impinged on my earning ability. Things did not turn around until I was 44 and in the midst of mourning the death of a loved one, which I'd written about before. I was grieving and at the same time in communication with him as consciousness. I got the distinct impression how, as consciousness, we are all connected. This lifetime happens in the blink of an eye. On Earth, we may have another 5 or 10 or 50 years before we get to experience a reconnection with our loved ones. But to consciousness, it's instantaneous. We are connected with them, whether they're in the physical or not. When someone dies, we are still connected with them on this level, and that life on Earth is a place to play. It's like being in a big swimming pool, and committing suicide is like getting out of the pool before swim time is over. So why not fully enjoy everything about life while we're here? And I'll do a quick interruption because more conservative religions or more extreme religions condemn suicide and say that they've lost their immortal soul or some horseshit like that, or they have to start over. That was actually my original training, was like, oh, you have to start over. And I don't believe that anymore. I totally know that when we pass, we go into extreme love, just this ocean of love. And whether or not there's a life review or any of those sorts of things, it's not even forgiveness. Anyone who passes is going to a better place. There's no down or up. If anything, this world is the hell. But when this loved one passed and I was so grief-stricken, it was really hard to go on. And then I did get this communication from him, I'm sure, that this life is like swim time. So it really encouraged me to focus on enjoying the rest of my life. Not that it's been easy, there's been some hard times as well. But in general, this is swim time. So back to the blog. Then I began to apply the teachings of Abraham Hicks, and I started noticing my thoughts. And I realized that all day long, I would imagine conversations with people where I'd be telling them all the terrible things that were happening to me. I literally had to grab myself by the ears and redirect my thinking to more positive things. After just 2 or 3 weeks of consciously changing the subject, I found myself lifting out of a depression that I had been in for years and hadn't realized it. On a neurological level, negative thoughts create neural pathways in your brain, and your thinking goes along these ruts. So when you change your thinking, it changes neural pathways, so your thinking thinking can go along positive lines, and this changes your brain chemistry as well. And I'll interrupt again, but the thing I have learned is that if you're chronically depressed, your brain has these Grand Canyons, and that's where medication is helpful to lift you up to the point where you can start having positive thinking take over. Today, I make choices that direct me towards the light and towards the positive. I don't hang around in negative or crazy making situations. My work focuses on empowering people to do the same. Nowadays, many of us are going through challenging and painful times. Things we have identified with are falling away, and our true selves are emerging. We no longer fit in old careers or old relationships, and we're being called to be consciousness, the essence of who we are. And in our work and in our relationships, we must align with our values. Some people are plagued with suicidal thoughts because their body personality cannot imagine life beyond the limitations they're currently living. When everything it identifies with disintegrates, it believes it's dying. It only knows what has been and barely understands what is. Your consciousness, however, fully comprehends and embraces and enjoys these changes. We are being called to be different. There is no body exactly like you. As source, we are one, but through the physical, your essence is unique. Your vibration is an important melody contributing to the orchestra composition of life. When you align with your essence, your note sounds strong and clear. How do you do this? Tune into yourself. Turn towards what makes you happy, what pleases you. Sometimes you do need space from others who aren't happy themselves or who want you to stay the way you were. As you separate from them, supportive people will come into your life. As you turn away from invalidation, the invalidators will squawk. Let them. The most important thing to remember is that light is greater than darkness. Truth resonates more potently than lies. Bullies, dictators, authoritarians, fundamentalists may be loud, but they do not last. They end up self-destructing. When you stand in your light and truth, you will feel joy, and that joy will ripple out towards others and gives permission to others to do the same. You will be a blessing and healing to all around you. So this week, take baby steps. Start by noticing and redirecting your thoughts. Or if you're done with baby steps and can't hold back any longer, leap. You will be supported. You will be leaping into a life better than you could ever have dreamed. It does get better. If you have any experiences like this, please leave me a comment below. I love to read your comments. And I think that all of the things I said still apply to today. I just will have to say that it does get better. It's amazing. I may be older and wrinklier than I was before, but it's been great that I've been able to hang on this long to really enjoy things. And I now have a grandson. There's a new reason for living. Things just do get better. And there's so many people out there that reaffirm the same thing. So if you like these videos, please share them with your friends and family and your social media, and also click the like button and subscribe. And that way it tells the YouTube algorithm to get this out to more people and reach folks that really need to see this information. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the Skybox technique. It'll give you an expanded perspective of your life and the world. If you want some manifestation techniques, I have a self-study course, Manifesting Money and Miracles. It teaches you how to embody higher frequencies to completely transform your life. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can learn about my individual sessions where I take a look at you as consciousness and what's going on in your life today, and I can answer any questions that you might have, and it's all recorded just for you. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching program where I work with you one-on-one, and I give you specifically chosen consciousness techniques that I've developed so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.